Hi, we've got lots of bits and pieces here today that we're going to look at. It's about a camera. It's a single lens reflex camera, SLR camera, dating from the early 1950s. Used to belong to my father, Jack Kenner, and is now selling on eBay for around about between $400 and $700. So I'll just move the bits aside. There's telephoto lens, there's the finished product, which is slides, there's a flash unit, a self timer, the finished product when it comes back, and the film, and a service manual or user manual. Now the camera comes in a lovely leather case that you can open to be able to use to take the photos. To take a photo, you would normally just remove the lens cap, wind the film on, point at whatever you're trying to take a photo of, and press the button and it'll take the photo. Okay, well, there's a little bit more to the camera than that, so I'll just go into a bit more detail. I'll pause it for a sec. I'm going to take the case off. Okay, so now we have the camera with the case off. The case was just screwed into the bottom here, which is also a tripod mount. It also uses that to be able to mount an arm for being able to connect the flash unit to it. Right. So when you want to put a film in the camera, you have to open the back of the camera. It's got a lever here. Push this open. Now I don't happen to have a roll of film, but a roll of film normally comes in a container like this. You would flip the lid, take the roll of film out, slip the roll in there, and then you would take the leader coming out of a roller and slip it into a groove in the take-up spool. And then once you've got it sitting there, you would close the lid and then wind the film, push the button, wind the film through, take 3 photos, and now you're ready to start your first photo. You would set the counter on the top here to 0, so that, or 1, 0, so that you know that every time you take a photo, it'll start to count how many photos you've taken, so you know what position you are in the spool. Now they usually came in 24 slides or prints, or 36 photos that you could take on a roll of film. When you're taking a photo, you have got on this camera a light meter that is able to see how much light is coming in the lens, and that way you would set the pointer here and find out what the settings you would set for your exposure and also your aperture. Now your exposure is set here, and you can set that to different speeds, and your aperture you could set here, for that's how wide the hole is that the light goes through to the camera. And then when you're ready to take a photo, you would wind the film on and then point, focus. There's a focus ring here. Now if you're looking through the viewfinder in here, you would be able to focus on the image because it's got a split image, and you're able to get a fine focus on the object. When you're ready, you would take the photo. Okay, so when you'd finished all of the photos on your roll, you would find that you couldn't get this arm to wind on anymore because it's come to the end of a roll. So you don't force it. When you're finished, you would press this button on the bottom and then wind all of the film back into the cartridge until it goes flap flap, and then you know that the film's in. Once the film's in, you would open the case, take the cartridge out, put a new one in, and then the cartridge you would put in a container, put the lid in on here, and then send it off to be processed. When it's finished processed, it would come back in a container like this, and it would have all the slides in it. And it would have a little bit that was on the end of the roll that they couldn't put into a slide because it was only too messy or useless. When you've got that back, you want to be able to project them. So you would put the each of a slide into a cartridge like this, and then you could put it into a slide projector. We'll have a look at that in another session. Okay, there's a couple of other things about the camera. It has got replaceable lens. You just unscrew that lens and you could put on a telephoto lens, which is a much bigger one, and for taking distance photos. You could also put a timer on it to be able to take a photo. We'll go back and get in the photo, and it'll go click and take the photo. You could also, as I say, put the flash unit on it, and when you take a photo you would have a cord here that would run from the flash unit onto the camera. When you're ready to take the photo would take a flash. Okay, so that's an Edixa single lens reflex camera. All the details in the booklet. Hopefully that's of use. Thanks a lot. Bye.